State career home run leader, Sydney Pennington. This is the Cowgirls' 12th Women's College World Series appearance after having defeated Texas in the Super Regional. We'll begin our questions with Eric Bailey.
Hey, thanks for your time today. I wanted to ask both of you guys about the role of Vanessa Shippey on this team as a first base coach. Just for Kenny, just talk about her evolving into a coach and how much she really has understood her importance to the team as a first base coach. And for Sydney, just what's it like playing for, having a first base coach that played at OSU, had a successful career, and how much does she relate to the players?
We'll start with Sydney, please.
Yeah. So Vanessa and I actually got to play together for a year. So it's been a little bit of a different relationship for us because now I have to look at her, as my coach and mentor now. So it kind of helped playing, I think, with her because she acted like that when I was a freshman and kind of guided me through and helped me a lot. So nothing's changed too much. She's definitely brought a lot to the table the second she walked in OSU or came back. So she's been awesome, super positive, just helps the outfield a ton, really improved in the outfield. So she's been great overall. We're really excited to have her back.
Coach?
Yeah, I just, she brings it every single day, just like she did when she played here. She can do it all. She helps Jeff with the hitting, helps me with the defense. She sits right next to me during games. We chat the whole time. But she's going to be a tremendous head coach very soon. She's that talented. I think she's one of the bright stars in our game, and she deserves everything that she ought to get. I think it tells you a lot about someone who leaves a paid coaching job in a Power 5 conference to be a volunteer. I think that tells you enough about her, what you need to really know.
Jenny Carlson.
Hey guys, Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman. Hey, I wanted to ask you kind of a big picture question. And Sydney, I think you've got great perspective on this from third base. And Kenny, I want to hear your thoughts too. Instant replay in softball. Every game in the NCAA tournament now on TV. I know SEC had instant replay in their conference tournament a couple years ago. They're thinking about doing it next year for all their games. Sydney, you have bang bang plays all the time from across the diamond to first. And Kenny, I'm sure you've seen close calls. What do you guys think about potentially getting instant replay in college softball?
Let's start with Coach, please.
If it's going to help me, I'll take it all day long. I think we need it. It's probably time. There's too much writing on these games, and I'm really I've tried to be an advocate for umpires. I think we need to pay them more. I think we need to do more for them. We've got to encourage more people to want to do this job. It's a thankless, tough job. And what I know about these guys and gals that call our games, they want the calls right. And so I think they're probably all for it too. And if it can help our game, if it can keep making this game grow, I'm all for it as long as we can keep it where the game continues to move. I think that's as important as anything as well.
Sydney?
Yeah, I totally agree with Coach G. I think, especially from player's perspective, you want to make sure the call is right, whether it's in your favor or not. But it could definitely change the course of the game. So I think it'd be a great addition to the game and just to help the umpires too. So, if you have instant replay, you can't, argue too much. It's video, so you see what you get. But yeah, I think it'd be good for the game overall.
Scott Wright.
I wanted to see if both of you could address what Allison Fabric means to this team as a leader.
Start with Sydney, please.
Allison is very different in the way she plays. She's definitely brought out a more competitive side of me in the 2 years that she's been here. She brings energy, she brings grit, she brings aggressiveness. She is just overall, a really competitive player and wants to win. And I think she changed the mentality of our team a little bit with her coming in last year, just having really good at-bats and being aggressive at the plate. And I know personally for me, she helped me kind of gain a lot of confidence in hitting. And so it's kind of cool just to be able to practice with her every day and watch her hit and see how her body moves when she's hitting and, try to mimic some of those things in the best ways that we can. So she's definitely improved our offense a ton and helped our team on and off the field.
Coach?
Yeah, just mentality, her mentality, her intent every day to work, just to show up and be great, never satisfied. When she hits balls poorly, she's really upset, not making a scene, but you can tell it really bothers her. And it really has kind of changed the mentality of our program, our offensive approach, just the way we grind. I mean, we use her as an example a lot. And, she's like a lot of our kids, though. This kid that's sitting next to me here, I'm surprised when these guys make outs. That's how talented that these kids are. And she's part of that culture that makes coaches feel like that. You just see them do work each day. You see the way they prepare, and it just overflows to the whole program. I tell our young kids all the time, if you're not paying attention to what Allison does every single day on our field, you're wasting time, because she is giving you the cheat code to how to be great.
Barry Trammell?
Yeah, Sydney, you're too young to remember this, but there was a time when pitchers totally dominated this game. One year in the World Series, more than half the games finished 1-0. Do you like the balance now between pitching and offense? Between pitching and offense? You think it is a balance? Do you guys have the bigger advantage? How do you see the offense-defense relationship in today's softball?
Yeah, I don't really remember when games were 1-0. I think you still see some of that today. There's not, especially towards the end of the season, you don't see scores that are extreme amounts of runs, just because at-bats are hard and hitting gets really hard, especially, when your pitchers get better. So I think the balance is good. I think right now I don't know how many we're averaging right now, but we don't see, one team not scoring runs. So I think the balance is okay, if that answers.
Coach, you want to answer that as well?
Yeah, I think it's good for our game. I think that's why more people are watching. I wasn't involved in the game when that was going on, but I used to watch it and saw a lot of that. And I think the game is definitely more attractive because of the home runs and the runs that are scored. And on the other end, the great defensive plays that you're starting to see now and the athletic kids that are playing this game. It's still, though, Barry, when you really look back at this, when good pitchers are on, they don't get hit much. They really don't. That hasn't changed. Maybe there's just not as many of them because it's really hard. To be an ace, it's really lonely. It's really hard. You have to be willing to do things when nobody else is. And in our society nowadays, we've kind of lost some of our toughness. And, a lot of kids see on ESPN, which has been great for our game, but we show home runs. We show runs. We don't show a lot of 1-0 games. It's not fun to watch.
Ronald Smith?
Yes, this is Ronald E. Smith, and I just want to ask a question for both of you. Getting to this stage is always a blessing, and it's always even harder just to get back to these moments. So I would love to know for both, how do you keep yourselves focused and not get lost in the moment or think of the past?
Start with Sydney, please.
So we actually have a phrase that we use called pitch to pitch, and there's a much deeper meaning than just the softball phrase pitch to pitch. But kind of just to sum up the story, we're just kind of taking every single step of the season in different pitches and trying to focus on one game at a time, having success in, the first game of the season, the second game of the season, no matter what team we're playing. So I think we're just really trying to slow it down and focus on the game that's in front of us and not look ahead. And I think that really kind of sets up the success in our season. And then, once we get here, we're just focused on the next game. We don't really look too far ahead. And I think that's what has made us really successful this season.
Coach?
Yeah, I just think for me, one of the things that we talk to these kids about each day is playing for these seniors, trying to slow the day down as much as you can, because, the last team that stands here next Tuesday or Wednesday, that there's going to be one team, be two teams that'll be there through all these days here. But the idea is to keep these kids here. The idea is to keep that journey going, and it's going to end. And so it's, how can I slow this down? How can I enjoy every single second of every single day with your teammates, with your coaches, with your support staff, your fans, getting to play this game that you've been playing since you've been 6, running around, dreaming about playing on this field, on this stage. And so just reminding them that this is what you've worked for so long. And we just, day by day, moment by moment, just enjoy, because when you're old like me and you look back and you get with your teammates that you played with when you were Sydney's age, you don't really talk about the softball. You talk about your teammates, the stories, the great times, and if you're truly investing in your teammates, you'll have that, and that to me is what makes these seasons last, endure, all those crazy words. It's the best thing. So we just try to take it day by day and remind them of what's in front of them.
Marshall Scott?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Allison earlier. You guys have a couple of former Georgia players on your team. You kind of had a similar situation last time you were there playing against Florida. Do you talk with the emotions that brings with them, or is that something you think will kind of take care of itself?
I think it'll take care of itself. I talked to Allison about 3 weeks back, before we even knew we even had a chance to play Georgia. We just had a really good talk about, she kind of mentioned to me that she wished she could have played her whole time here. And I said, no, you don't. Don't even go there. Like, that shaped you. It's a lot like me and the fact I played baseball at OU. I can't change that. I don't want to change that. Those memories, those moments that I had there as a national champion player, working there, I don't want to change that. And it's what shaped me. And so I think what's kind of cool is the fact that we are playing Georgia, and it's a great story for all of you to talk about. But for Allison, once the first pitch is thrown, I can assure you that she won't be looking over there at her former team. She'll be playing with her current team, and that's all that really matters when it's all said and done.
All right, last question to Frank Bonner.
Hi, this is for both of you guys. If you guys could go back to remembering how you felt the moment you found out the season was going to be canceled last year, and then looking where you are today, is there an extra excitement or satisfaction being in this moment after having a canceled season?
Let's start with Coach, please.
Not for me. It was like a death, and I don't want to use that in a bad way, because we really lost a lot of people to this pandemic, but that season being ripped away was like a death. And so that journey ended, and it was unfortunate in a lot of ways and for a lot of different reasons, but it doesn't make it any more special. What makes it special is I have a group of people in this program that had to recommit to everything, because I made the mistake of assuming that we'd be back and the band is back together, and we just pick right up where we left off, and it was a bad assumption on my part. We had to really, really work and get these kids to get back into school and softball. A lot of these kids saw the light for the first time in their entire lives, the life after softball. And it's a good light, but we had to get them back into this light of, this is the best light. These really are the best times of your entire life, and we don't want to give up on that. So there's so much work that's gone into this behind the scenes has nothing to do with softball. These kids are already good. That's why they're here. That's why they're playing here. They're really, really good. What we needed to do was to get us back as one cohesive group, and we've done that. And it took a lot of work, more than I ever thought. And I'm a people guy, and I thought I could get it knocked out fast, and it really has been a lot of work, a lot of great work, one I'll remember for a long time. Maybe we'll write books about it when it's all done. But it's doesn't mean any more than 19. It's just a new journey with a new team, and I want to be totally engulfed in that with these guys. And so I don't think it'd be proper to even think about a previous year.
Sydney?
Yeah, I think it was a really difficult time for everyone. Obviously, when we found out, the year would be canceled, and it was like Coach G had said, it was hard to come back, because you get a life kind of without softball, and, what do you do after? And it's, it's hard to get back to the grind of workouts and, stuff like that. So it was hard for, I think, everyone for a while. But, once we kind of got to that middle of the fall point where we start scrimmaging and, you start getting back and on your normal routine, it starts to kind of hit again. And it's like, okay, like this is what I'm here to do. This is, I've played softball my whole life. Like, this is what I'm here for. So I don't think, I can agree with Coach G when I say that, this year is a whole new team. So we don't really even look back to last year really much anymore, because just of, we're looking forward and excited about this year, and it's, new girls and new group, and we're just really excited to be here and can't wait to play. So,
Coach Gajewski and Sydney Pennington, thank you so very much for your time. Best of luck and have fun this week.
Thank you.
Thanks.